What's up, fellow Saiyans, and welcome to episode 40. Today we are doing X-23. She's primed in uniform gray, as always. And something new with her is I've also purchased the Army Painter wash set and the Army Painter metallic set. So you'll see some new colors on the screen that I haven't used in any of my videos before. And also, I'm gonna paint the cowl thing that goes around her eyes, like when she's in X-Force, as opposed to just having her face open. So I'm going to add my own little flair to this. But to start off, we're going to use barbarian flesh. We're going to use that for her face, the little parts on her arms, and then like by her lower abdomen, like her belly button. And we'll need a couple coats of this. You can see I have the transparent like fire behind her. I have it masked up whenever I primed it, so that way it keeps its translucence. So next, for the ground of her base, we're going to use dry rust. Now for her hair, I'm going to use matte black. And it's like, as you're painting the hair, her skin's right there on her face, and it's easy, because once you get black on a color, you'll see I do it here. But I mean, so you'll just have to go back over with this skin color, go over maybe once or twice over where the black was. If you get any onto the skin, just try to be careful. And all the painting portions of these videos are done in 8 times their normal speed. Like, it usually takes around 2 hours to do each figure. Now, once we're finished with the hair, I'm going to take Night Scales, which is one of my newer metallic colors. It's like a blackish color, even though the water makes it look brown. And this is going to be for her costume, the black parts of her costume. X-23, in case you didn't know, is an attempted clone of Wolverine. She's has the same powers as Wolverine, such as the healing factor in the claws, except for she has 2 claws on each hand and 1 on each foot. If you saw the movie Logan, you know what I'm talking about. She's a pretty cool character. Now for her claws themselves, we're going to use gunmetal. Now, for the outer edges of her costume, we're going to use Shining Silver. You can see where the uniform gray is still sticking out, like right on her leg. There's like stripes. We're going to use Shining Silver for that. You just want to try not to get it onto that Night Scales color. And I'm going to go back over and touch some things up, like the skin. Now for her eyes and her teeth, we're going to use matte white. And I'm going to go back with the detail brush here. And I'm going to give her black lipstick as well as the black cowl around her face, around her eyes. So as I go through here, you'll see it. Now I'm going to peel off all the masking tape on the translucent flames, and that'll allow me to get the rest of the figure that was any of it that was covered up, including the base and her feet. Add the lipstick. And then next, I'm going to take pure red, and I'm going to add that to her eyes, because in the comics and stuff, when she's in X-Force, they have the cows that have the red eyes in it. And then it's time to start our washing process. So to start off, we're going to take soft tone. We're going to use that for the base underneath her, where the dry rust was. Then we're going to take flesh wash. We're going to use that for any of the parts where we had her skin exposed. Remember not to let it puddle up or bubble anywhere. You want to kind of pull it to the recesses. Now basically dark tone for almost the rest of her entire costume and her hair. And once we're finished with that, we're just going to let it sit and dry for a bit. While she's drying, I have these glow paints I got from Five Below, and I'm going to take the scarlet color out of that. It's more on, it looks red as I hold up the paint tube, but it's honestly more like a pinkish color. But I'm going to add it to the base and the base of the translucent fire, and a little bit around the base of where she's standing. To be honest, I've been trying to just incorporate this glow paint in, but it really kind of sucks. It's almost like a wash itself. It's more to give a hint of a glow color. going to go back over and add red to the eyes again. Now I'm going to take our barbarian flesh we had before, and we're going to add a little dab of mummy robes to it to make a lightened skin color. And we're almost going to dry brush, not dry brush, but use like a dry brush technique. And just, we're going to highlight her face, the areas where the light hits it. Sometimes you got to go back up and touch stuff up afterwards. Next, we're going to take, I'm going to use uniform gray, and I'm going to use that as the highlights to the night scale. And as well, I'm going to also dry brush that to the hair. Sorry, I was using the uniform gray for the hair. I'm going to take uniform gray and add fairy dust to it to lighten it up a bit. And that will be the color that we use for the highlights of the costume. Now I'm going to take this folk art glow orange color I have. This is a lot better glow art than the other kind. And I'm going to start adding this to like the inner parts of the translucent fire and on the base. And after I lay a good layer of it, like you have to put a lot of this on for it to actually show up. And after I lay it on, I'm going to let it dry for a while, almost like a wash. And then once it's finally dry, I'm going to take this yellow glow paint, and I'm going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to take it more towards like the little edges of the inside, and on like all the edges, the outer edges, and all like the ridges on the inner side, behind where she's standing. And this is gonna be X-23 all finished. I like the way she turned out. I like my little, like I said, the little different mask on her, like the X-Force variant. I like that better. I like how the glow paint kind of sets on the translucent flames. But if you like this video, if you want to see, sometimes I do live sessions, but it hasn't been often at all. In fact, it hasn't been often. I've been making videos. I've been pretty busy, but if you want to look for live sessions, check me out on either Twitch or Facebook. Just look for Saiyan Elite. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to see more of these, you want to get notified of new episodes, just subscribe to the page. And thank you guys all for watching. And later, Saiyans.